and we are back with another one.
Back
Today,
again. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
today was a pretty big day.
Huge
Um,
day. Huge day.
yeah. So what was going on today?
Well, we got the season finale of Boba Fett. Season finale of Boba Fett. It actually went crazy. So we're gonna talk to you all. We're gonna talk to y'all about that. We're gonna cover everything because this was a great episode. And I'm just glad that I was here to experience it. To be honest.
Honestly, honestly, I think it was really fun. Um, yeah. Before we get into it, though, I just want to say, remember to follow us on all the social medias, Instagram and Twitter at Filmjet Pod. Um, Instagram been going a little crazy too. I mean, the posts been getting more and more likes,
Right, right, right.
more and more followers, more and more views. So I'm just,
Yeah, we see y'all showing love. So
yeah,
thank you for that.
definitely real happy about that. And we just trying to keep going up. Um, yeah, so follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FilmJetPod. YouTube, search FilmJet. We're on YouTube too. So yeah, let's get into it. The Book of Boba Fett season finale. Man, it
Season
was
finale.
crazy.
It
Well,
was crazy.
first, we didn't talk about what episodes 5 and 6.
We did.
We did. We didn't talk about episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah, we talked about episode 5 and 6 last week.
Oh, we did. Jesus, my memory is freaking. My memory is done.
No, you good. You good.
Yeah,
That's cool.
we
It's all right.
definitely did talk about episodes 5 and 6. Yeah. Yeah, this finale was something serious.
It was. All right. So honestly, the finale did a lot for me. Like it actually brought the series together in a lot of different ways, and I didn't really have I didn't really have too many. I didn't have many problems with how they did it too. Like I thought that the pacing was fine.
Mhm.
It was well paced, a lot of action, a lot of action, um, and it was a lot of great characters that came together on screen. So that was like it was like a great time. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
what's it called? Okay, so hmm, what did you uh what what did you think of the season as a whole now that we finished the story?
Um, I think it was a pretty solid season. I definitely want a season two.
Hmm.
I'm pretty happy with what we got. I mean, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but
Right.
I think it was pretty solid. Um, yeah, I really hope we get a season two. I want to see more of Boba Fett. I want to see him interacting with all these other characters that we have now that we've seen. Whether it's Din Djarin, Fennec. Hopefully, we'll get into it, but hopefully we get more Cad Bane and just in general, I want to see more Boba Fett. Period.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. So the way that I what the season finale did for me is that like I feel like it did tie the season in a
Hmm.
really good way.
It did.
Uh, yeah, it tied it all together, especially um I mean there were like I do have a few nitpicks, but I at the same time like with everything that happened, it's like I can just like bypass those nitpicks and just say that this was a pretty good season.
Hmm.
Um, like it started off a little shaky, and then like I don't know towards the middle. I mean, not towards the middle, like well, yeah, from the middle to the end of the season, like Boba Fett was like wasn't even in. He wasn't even in 2 episodes, so
Yeah, yeah.
it was kind of a strange time. It was kind of a strange time. It was a tough look for my boy, but But all in all, in the end, Boba Fett came through, and I enjoyed it. Uh, I think that a season two, um, I think that a lot of people will want to see Boba Fett reappear for a season two, or even in the Mandalorian season three when that comes out, because I feel like for Boba's character, there's still a lot more story to be told than just this one story that and just this one story. But
Hmm.
the I know like a lot of people were complaining about how like contained the story was. Uh like how it was so the story was confined to just Tatooine and the city of Tatooine. But you know
Hmm.
what? Like I'm starting to enjoy Star Wars doing that as uh like this was kind of like Boba Fett, like a Star Wars story. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because like it didn't venture out it didn't venture out too far. It was just like a story within it was just like a small story within a um uh within a single area. It's kind of like I feel like the way they're going is making it like a little more like comic booky in a way. So I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, everything doesn't have to be this, world-ending threat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like,
Right,
and that's just in general. It seems like every movie that comes out, the villain's going to destroy the Earth or destroy the galaxy or you destroy the universe. Like that gets old after a while. We don't need to be,
right.
stopping a planet from blowing up every single time. I mean,
Hmm.
so to see, more self-contained stories is a nice change of pace. And
Right,
even within Star Wars, there's a lot of things already out that the characters are planet hopping and they're going to all these locations and traveling around. I mean, we just got the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian, which every episode was on a new planet, and like both those shows, it was like every episode was a new planet. So
exactly.
I don't understand where that would be coming from. And
Hmm.
it was pretty clear that Boba didn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. So he's obviously not going to be just traveling around looking for work like that.
Right. So my thing is, um, well, to continue to continue on my point before is that like I kind of like how this story started and ended on Tatooine. Like the
Hmm.
story is finished and there's no like serious cliffhanger, because
Exactly.
I I like how all the characters that they brought in the end was enough to tie Boba Fett into the universe. So that way, if he shows up anywhere else in Star Wars canon from here on out, then it will just make sense because we know that Boba Fett's in the universe, so he
Hmm.
could show up. It's not
Exactly.
like it. It's not like they continued the story in a way where they left it on a cliffhanger and like we kind of know where it's gonna go next. Like now, wherever he shows up next is gonna be a surprise, and I like
Hmm.
that.
Exactly. It gives you way more freedom
Right,
to do something like this.
right. Um. Hmm. So, what were like your favorite highlights of the episode?
Man, I would have to say the Mandalorian team up between Boba and Din Djarin. I mean, who doesn't like to see stuff like that? Um,
Exactly.
and there was, I think over time, Din's going to start questioning his own beliefs because they keep planting the seeds of people like saying things about his clan and stuff, like how Din was talking and Boba was like, "You still believe that nonsense?" Or what? I
Right.
don't remember the exact line, but he was like,
He
You
said something
believe in
like
it?"
it was like
Yeah, he said a Star Wars animal.
it was pretty much like BS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "You still believe in that?" And he was just like, "Yeah, this is the way." But it's little things like that, just them interacting and fighting together. Um, of course, Cad Bane. Anytime he's on screen, I mean, your eyes are going to be looking at the screen. So
Right. Crazy.
he's just such a commanding presence. I mean, you always got to watch out when he's there. And of course, Boba riding the Rancor. I mean, that's number one.
Right.
Oh, and of course, Grogu. He's wearing the armor.
Like Goku wearing the armor was cool.
Yeah, and he's doing this thing. He's already showing advancement with the Force.
Right.
So, and we could talk about him later too. I got a lot to say about him. But yeah, that was me. What about you?
Um, Honestly, my highlights were kind of the same. The baby, I was about to say Baby Yoda. Grogu's appearance wasn't really, it wasn't really a highlight for me. I don't know. It was, if anything, I'll put that on my nitpicks list.
Really?
I'll I'll talk about that later though. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. But I do agree with you that one of the highlights was definitely all right. So my three highlights are Mandalorian team up because that was cool. Both of them on their jetpacks, and I was trying to
Mhm.
figure out um why Boba Fett hasn't used his jetpack all season.
Right.
But
And he should have been using it like in combat. Like
right,
doing like little jumps just to move around faster and
exactly,
create distance between him and the opponents more often. I was
right.
glad to see him do that today.
Um, what's it called? Yes, that Mandalorian team up was crazy because I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like Bobo showing off all his gadgets,
Hmm.
Mando showing off all his gadgets. Like this is what it's about. Then my second highlight was my second highlight was the first time. No, actually, all right. So I'm putting both Cad Bane scenes together as one highlight for me
Hmm.
because the tension. I feel like the tension in the first time they saw each other was high, and I
Hmm.
was like, all right, so who's gonna make the first move, right? The tension was very high, and I was like, all right, this is it. But then it didn't happen, so I was like, okay, so that got me hyped. And uh, the second time they fought, I was like, okay, like this is where it's about to go down, like it has to, right?
Hmm.
And the thing that's like the most interesting about Cad Bane is tough. What's it called? Let me just throw it out there. The thing that's most interesting about Cad Bane is that this man is so skilled um with both hands of the pistol that is crazy because
Hmm.
when he went up against Cobb Vanth, right, in the last episode,
Hmm.
he used his left hand. He used his left hand to shoot. But this week, when he went up against Boba, he used his right hand to shoot. And he won both. That's just to show you like how that
Hmm.
just goes to show you like how skilled and how quick Cad Bane really is. Cause that was like gangster. I was like, yo, this man crazy.
Hmm.
The rank the Rancor showing up was actually another one of my highlights. But like you said it, so I'm gonna just stick to my last one. Yo, I enjoyed the scene um when when Finnick went to the all the leaders
Yo, I was
that were
about to bring that
gathering.
up. I was gonna bring
Yo,
that up if you didn't.
all the leaders that were gathering in the end, and she hung the mayor. I was like, what?
Yo, Fennec ain't nothing to
Yo,
play with, bro.
bruh, Finnick is crazy. That's crazy because Finnick left and low key, like she was gone for a while, so I was kind of worried about like
Hmm.
what was going on with her, right? But then when it came back to her, like we found out that she just took care of business as usual.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah,
And
so those,
people
those
gotta remember too that Fennec beat Cad Bane in the Bad Batch. Like she was
yeah, she
beating him
did.
up, bro. See, so
Right.
I'm noticing something like, okay, when it comes to the standoffs and like shooting,
Mhm.
nobody could beat Cad Bane. But
Yeah, nobody could beat Cad Bane.
when it come to like hand to hand fighting, that's where
Mhm.
you could get him.
Right.
Because Fennec was beating him up, and then Boba beat him up today.
Crazy. Both
Because
almost lost
Boba,
though.
yeah, well, he lost the standoff, but when they started fighting,
Yeah, he lost the standoff. Yeah.
that's when Boba won, and I'm glad Boba beat him with the gaffy stick too.
Right. Right. I'm glad. All right. So I'm glad that Bobo beat him with the Gavi stick because I was one one of my nitpicks of the episode was I was upset that like it wasn't it wasn't more clear to us, or maybe it was and I missed it. But like a lot of people were expecting like the Tuscans to show up
Hmm.
as like backup, right? And that didn't happen, and we didn't get
Well,
to
they're all
see
dead.
the yeah. But like we like a lot of people thought that like because they didn't see the body of the child Tuscan or the body of the warrior,
Hmm.
um, that they were gonna show up again. So I because they didn't show up, I'm glad that Bobo finished the battle with the gappy stick, if that makes sense.
But I will say this: I think that's something that they could explore for season two. Like if they do a season two, that's something they could explore because Boba knows that it was the Pikes that killed the Tuscans.
Oh,
And
you're right.
I have a theory too that I don't know if it's like a theory, it's kind of just like a guess, like a maybe. That maybe it was Cad Bane who actually did it. Um so if Cad Bane is still alive, then that could also be something that goes on in season two where Boba Fett actually um really tries to kill Cad Bane, for good
Yeah, I was
because
thinking
he's the
that
one that
too.
killed the Tuscans.
Wait, I
Because
was thinking that
we
too,
don't
but
yeah, we don't know exactly who did. We know the Pikes ordered it, but they could have hired someone else to do it or something. So I think that could be something that they explore for season two.
well, I don't think it was Bane. Well, it wasn't Cad Bane because he was the one that uh like um
Oh, yeah, he
he
was the
went to the
one that
leader.
that like said it right.
Yeah, he went to the leader of the Pikes, and the Pike was like, "No, we took care of the Tuscans."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then and Cad Bane was like, "I didn't realize you guys are so cold blooded."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cad Bane is funny. Cad Bane is funny because he had a few lines. Like he was like the first time they met in the city, he was like, "You're going to soften your old age," and that's kind of crazy because Cad Bane is older than Boba.
Yo, that man's older than Boba by like 30 years.
Yo, Cad Bane is old, bro.
Probably older, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know his exact age, but he's like old as hell.
In the end,
Because
in the
he was
end,
already he wasn't even like a 20 something during the Clone Wars. That man was probably like 40.
right? Nah, he was probably younger. He was probably younger than 40. But like,
So that man was already an established like menace at that point. So he was not like
yeah, that's true.
25, bro. That
That's
man was
true.
old.
Um, but yeah, in the second time that in the second time that they stood off, um, uh, Cad Bane said, "I'm older than you, but I'm still faster than you."
Hmm.
And then
Well,
and
he is
Boba
with that
was like,
pistol.
"Yeah," and Boba was like, "Maybe if I have armor." And then I don't know what's in those pistols that Cad Bane has, but like it seemed like whatever they got packs a punch. Especially because Cad Bane he did reference the first time. He was like, "This isn't the first time that I've this wouldn't be the first time that I've beaten you." Remember that?
Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then that was referencing the deleted scene from Clone Wars. Um, so what didn't you like about the episode?
Nothing really. I mean, there wasn't really anything that I disliked.
Hmm.
I mean, there was just that one part where the guy spun around for no reason, but I mean,
He spun around to shoot
yeah,
the pipe.
like he just spun around for no
Oh
reason.
man, yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, there wasn't anything like plot wise or writing wise I didn't like about it.
I thought like
And that's like
honestly,
being super nitpicky.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I can kind of I can kind of see like there wasn't really much that was wrong. It was just like I I I kind of see like how some things or some of the things that I'm nitpicking at uh were like on purpose in terms of like storytelling,
Hmm.
right? So like one of my one of the things that like I wasn't too fond of was when those two droids came into the city, right?
Hmm.
Um, after they beat the Pikes, and then it was so like they were having like such a hard time getting through the the force field because like you know how like in Clone Wars the destroyers, right?
Hmm.
Like all they had to do was get like within close combat, and then if they move slowly, just like how you were explaining uh how the knives worked in Dune. You know how like
Oh yeah,
they made
yeah,
guns
yeah.
they made guns obsolete, so you have to go in like kind of slower with uh with melee weapons.
But
So
I will say this though, in their defense, I mean, like when it comes to the Clone Wars droids and stuff, those were really like mass produced, high volume, and I think those didn't really have the strongest force field because they're shown like rolling grenades through the force field and the like the EMP type grenades. Like they're shown rolling the
yeah, the droid
grenades through
poppers.
the force field and everything. But there's also shields like that exist in Star Wars that are meant to stop you know like starfighter blasters and stuff and like cannons. So I mean, it could have been a more heavy duty force field.
Oh,
And no,
like a more heavy. I mean, yeah, that kind of
and
makes sense because the
yeah,
machine that because the droid itself was more heavy. Like it
yeah,
was like a bigger. It was essentially like a bigger destroyer.
and those were droids were something that we never seen before in Star Wars. So,
Right.
and there were only two of
Yeah.
them. Like if they would have had some droidicas, like they could have had a whole bunch, but they only had two of those big ones. So they were like
Right.
way more robust.
Yeah, because I was like, come on, guys. I was like, we learned this in Clone Wars season 5
Yeah,
when when Anakin and Ahsoka went to the Rebels camp to teach
yeah,
Saw
yeah,
Gerrera and his sister how to fight.
yeah,
They had a whole lesson about how to roll the grenades
yeah, yeah,
nice and slow through the the force field.
yeah,
Yes, I was like, come on, guys. But
yeah.
nah,
But they couldn't even
overall,
walk through those force fields though, so
yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
it was different.
Yeah, that's true. I I thought I thought those droids uh like at first I was like, okay, like they're just droids, but then like those droids were like giving them hell. So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
okay. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. And then uh my thing, next thing that I was nitpicky about was like, all right, so like Boba, right? This guy is like a master with like weaponry and stuff. Now is like, so doesn't Boba have a ship that he can like summon with his wrist? I was like, Boba could have just gotten his ship, and then I feel like he could have taken out those two droids. I mean,
Well,
not like a seismic charge because he would have taken down the city, but like,
yeah, I was about to say because that's probably why he didn't bring the ship because those cannons are mad. Like ship
Yeah,
cannons are really big, so he would
that's
have
true.
he would have risked doing damage to everything.
Wow. Yes, that's why I was saying like they pushed the Rancor, um like they substituted like a big gun like the ship with like the Rancor because
Yeah,
then it's like storytelling purposes. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah.
give the side characters a little more time and then Boba comes in and saves the day. So it was cool. It was cool. I liked it.
Hmm.
And then the whole Cad Bane thing at the end. What's it called? All right, so like my last my last nitpick, right? Was I was like, all right, so Cad Bane and the fight with Boba, like it was a good fight. But I was like low key like Cad Bane, the Cad Bane that I know would have gotten out of that. Like because he had like all right, so Cat Boba had Cad Bane like under his foot. So like I would have expected him to bring out uh his his taser wrist and like shock
Hmm.
Boba real quick and then like escape that way. And I thought that was how it was gonna go down. I didn't know Boba was gonna kill him. I was like, oh shoot.
I don't think he's dead.
You don't think he's dead?
No, because that thing on his chest was still beeping when they zoomed out.
Oh. But
Like
I
it was,
thought I thought that was like the the thing on his chest that's like connected to his face, right?
yeah.
I thought like that was it's not so he can breathe. It's so it's to prevent like uh any force user from
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 force
choking
choking
him.
him.
Yeah.
Well, it's for both. Like, cause I think he can go into space with it or something.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay. Maybe he's not dead. Hopefully he's not because like
Yeah, I don't
Cad
think he's dead.
yeah, Cad Bane a gangster.
Yeah,
So I don't
but
know.
I will say this though, it is good that they made Boba defeat him. Like it was a definite defeat instead of Cad Bane escaping.
Right.
Because I also think it shows right, like Cad Bane not trying to run away. Because when you show characters run away from everything, it makes them look like a coward. So it was good that they didn't. I don't think. I think it was good they didn't make Cad Bane run away, and it was
Hmm.
also good that they made Boba defeat Cad Bane too, and it was by himself.
Right.
Like it was a 1-on-1. Um, just Boba versus Cad Bane, and I think it was good the way they did
Right. Yeah, I thought it was good too. I was missing we were missing Toto though. I was like, where's Toto?
it.
Because Toto usually would have been there. Like he kind of he kind of has a personality like the Major Domo.
Yeah,
So I feel like Toto would have like been like some good like comedic relief in that moment.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, but what happened to him? He freaking didn't he like fall down? Yo, in the Bad Batch, didn't he like fall down? They were on like this floating thing, and he
yeah.
like fell down to never be seen again.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think so.
Oh, wait. So then, no, because I think what it was like he had the credits, right? He had the credits, and then
I'm trying to remember.
he had the credits. Did Finnick shoot him or something like that?
Something
In one of
happened to
his
him.
jets? Something
Something
happened to
happened
him.
to him because he fell down
Dang.
and like. Oh, I'm looking it up right now because this is
Yeah, but I
important.
I was kind of upset that I didn't see Toto. I don't know, maybe I forgot what happened. But yeah, last time we did see him like on screen at least was in the Bad Batch.
Yeah,
In
I
that
think
one
he fell
episode.
down.
Wow.
He,
Nah, cause like it's always cool to see like a live action version of like a new droid, like
hmm
like how we got
BD.
Yeah, we got BD in the last episode, or the episode 5 with the Mandalorian. That was cool.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's see. Oh, so when they were fighting, like the when Mando and Boba were fighting, in the city, they were fighting the Pikes, and the people from Freetown came through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was like, when the one bartender guy, when he was like, yeah, Cad Bane shot down Cobb Vanth in cold blood. I was like, no, he's dead. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking in my
yeah.
head.
I didn't think he
Nah,
was
there's no
dead either.
way.
I didn't think he
Yeah,
was
like,
dead after after they after the fight. I didn't think he was dead. But
yeah,
it
I
was
was
it
like,
was cool though because they showed Thundercat again.
yeah, they did show Thundercat again. But I was like, yo, I was like, how did he just bleed out from a wing? Like, he got winged on the shoulder, and then um, I was like, nah, he's good. What's it called? The deputy was definitely fried. I was
Oh
like, yeah, the
no, he's
deputy,
done. He's
yeah,
done. Yo, he got freaking murked.
yeah,
That man got
yeah. I
shot
was
like
like,
5 times.
yeah, I was like, deputy, it's slow for the deputy, right? But that just goes to show like how quick Cad Bane really is too, because
Because
he
he shot
shot
both of them.
yeah, shot both of them. That's crazy. Um, but then yeah, we got that shot in the it was a final shot of Cobb Vanth in the back to pod.
Hmm
Um, yeah. So what do you think is next for his character? Because we got that Thundercat scene in the end, and we know that he's the modder. So I mean, probably like a new arm
Yeah,
or
something.
something.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have some cybernetics.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's mad cool seeing Thundercat in Star Wars.
in Star Wars,
Also,
right?
also Danny Trejo.
Oh
You
yeah,
know who
Danny
that
Trejo.
is?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
know who that is. Yeah, that's
bruh.
crazy.
See, if I was an actor, I would want to be in. I would tell them to put me in something, even if I get to be like a stormtrooper or something. I'm like, yo, you just got to get me in there as an extra or whatever.
Yeah. Now being in Star Wars is cool,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think he's definitely gonna appear in the Mandalorian season 3.
hmm
Um,
I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad that we missed the training sequence between like Boba getting or Boba learning how to ride the Rancor, but then
hmm
at the same time, like I feel like they skipped that because it just made it more of a shock when he came back,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody was like,
Also, we didn't
oh,
really need another training sequence when we already had one.
oh, right, we got one with the train. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
you're right, you're right, you're right. But oh yeah, let me get back to what I was gonna say about Grogu. So
hmm
I I feel like it was that one shot that we got with R2 when he was coming into the city, right? And I
hmm
was like, oh shoot, all right. So like made the Grogu made his choice. Okay, that's cool. And then I was fully expecting to see Luke hop out of the X-wing, and then he didn't, and it
hmm
was just Grogu, and I was like, dang, like I don't know. I mean, like I know Grogu's 50 and all, but like he's he's literally flying as like unaccompanied minor.
I know, but
Because
he's older than Luke.
yeah, he older than Luke, but like I don't know. We can't really tell. Like sometimes, like he gives us tendencies, like yeah, like I'm like kind of experienced, but then like at
Mhm.
other times he's just like yeah, like I'm still a baby. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, dang, Luke, like I don't know if that was like the most responsible move.
Hey, well, at least he was with
Um,
R2, so R2
yeah, at
can
least he was R two.
take
Yeah,
care of business. R2 gonna take care of business. But
Yeah,
I
that's true.
think what I think is gonna happen with Grogu is I think he's eventually gonna learn how to use the dark saber.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be like the next Mandalorian Jedi. I think I think he's gonna end up training. He's gonna stay with Din, and then he's gonna eventually go back with Luke, and he's gonna become a better Force user, and he's gonna end up using the dark saber, just like that one Mandalorian Jedi who created it. He's gonna be
You're
the
right.
next. Yep,
I
and
can kind of see
that's
that.
what I think is gonna happen. And I think you know what I because I think that's I think they're really going towards that because of how Den has to go do that trial thing or whatever, going into the mines or whatever on Mandalore. So
Oh,
I think he's gonna take Grogu with him, and
mm-hmm.
then Grogu is gonna have to go through that trial too, just by being there, and is gonna make him next in line to be the ruler of Mandalore. So I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm
Hmm.
excited.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting the way you put it. I I I thought that Grogu was gonna become a gray. Like I thought that not right away, but like eventually. So I
Hmm.
thought that at first he was going to like undergo training with Luke and at least get like some like uh at least get like a little more his bearings with the Force,
Hmm.
and then eventually, like he would just end up missing like Mando too much, and then would like go off and like find him. Like I was, I was expecting like a you know how, dang, for lack of a better metaphor or example, for lack of a better example, like Ratchet and Clank, right?
Hmm.
And then I was expecting an episode where like it would just be Grogu, like looking for Mando, like a like a Clank mission.
Hmm.
So that's kind of like what I was expecting. But then like by that point, like he'll be trained well enough where he can like hold his own. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. But the only thing about it is that like I feel like once Grogu gets to that point where he can really just take care of himself, I feel like traveling with Mando will be kind of like it'll be kind of like weird. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Well,
I
he's not gonna get to that point until either Mando's like an old man or he's gonna be dead already.
right.
Cause he's 50 and he's still like a freaking 3-year old.
Yeah, 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 you're right.
Like,
I mean, well, one thing that's interesting is that the way Luke was saying that Grogu is remembering everything that he learned in the past.
hmm.
So it's gonna be cool to see like a lot of the things that are gonna be unlocked from his memories in the past as he gets stronger.
Hmm.
Because if we don't know how long he was in training, we don't know how long that he was in training before everything happened, or at
Hmm.
least how long has been like how long has it been in between Order 66 and now?
um like 24 years because it's 19. Well, no, it's like 27 years because it's 19 from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, and then I think from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, it's 3 years. I think, and then The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's around 25 years, give or take.
Okay, so that means Grogu was like he was 25 when that
Yeah,
happened,
yeah,
and then we don't know how old he was when he got picked up by the Jedi Order. So
yeah, exactly. So he could have only been with them for a year. Who knows?
right, we don't know the time span of the length of his training with the Order. So yeah, it's gonna be cool to it's gonna be cool to see all the things that like he picks up or that he remembers like along the way because he's kind of like low key, like he kind of knows a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because like all the times that we've seen him use the force, it's been for something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time he used the force, it was to stop the Mudhorn. Then
Mm-hmm.
um I think the next time he used the force, it was it was to heal it was to heal that one guy. I'm drawing a blank I'm drawing a blank on his name. But
Yeah.
he was injured pretty badly in that battle in the city. And um Grogu force healed him. I think the next time after that we saw um hmm,
Well, in
trying to
this
remember what else he
episode,
did.
we saw him freaking tame the Rancor. So
Yeah, he put a
that was a
Rancor to
new
sleep.
ability. Yeah, that was a new ability
Right,
because like we know that Force users can have those kind of connections with animals and stuff, but
right.
we never saw Grogu do it yet. So we're really seeing that he was probably pretty advanced even when he was with the Jedi.
Right. So I'm starting to think that Grogu might be like eventually once he finds his way, he's gonna be like a really strong force user. Like no matter like what side he chooses, like he's gonna be a force.
Yeah.
Um yeah, but I did think that he was gonna become a gray. Um so then I'm kinda like torn because I feel like Grogu coming in or Grogu making that decision was kind of like, you know, what was the point of um the whole Luke Skywalker scene in the end of season 2 of Mando. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
that was big. It's like that was big, but then it didn't really go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere at all. And then now come Mando season 3, if you didn't see Book of Boba Fett, then it's like you're just like, okay, like what happened?
Hmm.
You know? Um
Well,
I mean it's still
I think that eventually he's gonna end up go back with Luke. He's gonna figure out a way to be trained by both of them. I really think he is, and really be the next Mandalorian Jedi.
hmm,
Because I think Luke needs to realize the error of the Jedi's ways before. Because he's really
mhm,
kind of just doing the same thing the Jedi were doing.
right.
I think for the Jedi to come back, that Luke needs to realize that he has to do things differently. So I think that Grogu is eventually going to be with both of them.
Yeah, that'll be real interesting.
Hmm.
um hmm. Well, I'm kind of excited for Mando season 3 now because it's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing as I was saying about um it's kind of the same thing as I was saying about Boba Fett, like the way it ended.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like the end of season 2. It didn't the end of season 2 for the Mandalorian. It like ended on a cliffhanger, and then this with this show with Boba Fett, it ended. It told one small story in Boba Fett's life, and then it finished that kind of story arc
Hmm.
for Grogu and the Mandalorian. Well, at least finished it for now because we don't know if he's going back or not.
Yeah.
Um, hmm.
Yeah, that's really it for me. I mean, if you got anything you want to say,
All right. So what's it called? I I wanted to ask you real quick, like, who are your your top 5 bounty hunters or like gunslingers in the Star Wars universe.
Ooh. I mean, gotta say, I don't know if I can put this in order, but trying to think of Clone Wars, movies. There's Han Solo, Boba Fett, Cad Bane. We gotta throw Din Djarin, Fennec Shand out there.
Hmm.
What's the guy? What's the bounty hunter name with the hat?
Which one?
From Clone Wars.
Bounty hunter with the hat. From Clone Wars.
His name was Embo. Embo. Yo, Embo is tough. Yo, Embo is tough. Yeah, I'm rocking with
Oh,
it.
okay.
We haven't seen much of Black Chrysanthemum.
Yo, I was upset about that. Yeah, I was like, I really wanted to see more of his character. I thought like he was really cool, like getting like another Wookiee. I was like, yeah, like it's gonna be cool. But I don't know. His character didn't really do much for me in
I
terms
think
of
we'll
like,
see more of him.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's Embo, Han Solo, Boba Fett. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of Jango Fett either.
Yeah.
Yo, Pre Vizsla was tough too.
Yo, all right. I was gonna say that. I was gonna
Yo,
say him.
Pre Vizsla, he almost beat Maul in a fight.
I was gonna say that because yeah, I was watching that fight on YouTube the other day because I was looking more about the dark saber, and I was watching that fight and I was like, yo, Pre Vizsla was actually really good.
Yeah, so Pre Vizsla will be up there. Bo-Katan would be up there too. If I had to put top 5, I'm gonna say Han Solo, Boba Fett. Oh man, Cad Bane. Right now, I'm gonna have to say Fennec, and then Embo. I was probably gonna put Aura Singh up there, but we didn't really see much of her either, like in the cartoons or anything.
Yeah, we didn't see much of Orson.
She is in the Phantom Menace for like a few seconds though.
Really?
Yeah, during the pod race scene, she's like sitting on one of the cliffs, like if you blink, you'll miss it. It's one of those kind of moments.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's probably gonna have to be my 5. I mean, there's not really anybody else. Everybody else that I'm thinking of is either like a clone trooper or like a you know like a Lando Calrissian, somebody like that.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
like a good guy, not really like a gunslinger who's somebody who kind of floats between good and
Right.
bad. So yeah, that's my 5.
All right, so I think my 5 uh
Same with Boss too. Like I was gonna say Bosk, IG-88. We didn't really see much of them.
IG 11 or 88. Hold on.
Yeah, which one's IG-11? The one
I
from the original trilogy.
Oh, okay. The one from Mando is IG 11.
Yeah. 88 is the original trilogy. Then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Word.
IG-11 was tough though.
IG-11 was tough. I was gonna put him on my list because I was like, yo, IG-11. It was him and Mando, and they took down the whole. It was like a whole. They took down the whole guild.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
that's
put him on
crazy.
your list then.
Yeah. All right. So I'm putting IG-11 as number 5, only because like he's cool, but like he's a droid. So I feel like, you know, um, number 4, I'm putting Fennec because she's cool.
Fennec is tough.
No, Fennec is tough. I'm putting Boba Fett as number 3. Only because I feel like he's like cool. Like ever since his character's been introduced, he's just been like this or like he was more scary like when he didn't talk, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
was just a character like in the background. It's like, all right, this guy looks mean, right? So like that was like my favorite depiction of Boba Fett. But we still didn't really see like much action out of him like then until like now. Um, Boba Fett is like my number 3. Mando is my number 2. Um, Everybody knows why. And then Cad Bane is my number 1.
Yeah, Cad Bane is really.
Yeah, he's just too good. But yeah, that's my 5 gunslingers list. But yeah, what's it called? It was a great episode of TV. It was a great season.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping to see more out of Boba Fett. Hopefully we get Tamara Morrison in the Ahsoka show though.
Yeah, we need some more clones. We need Captain Rex and we need Commander Cody.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to. I want to see how they make Rex look like, if they put like a beer on him or what. Yeah. So that'll be cool. And then yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
it,
think
man.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us again on Instagram and Twitter at Filmjet Pod.
hmm
Hit up the YouTube. Yeah, we're on
If you
Apple and
guys
Spotify.
have anything that you want us to cover in the future, like don't be afraid to like send us a DM or like add us or something like that. And
Definitely,
we'll try our best to cover it.
definitely,
So
definitely. Comment, mention us on
right,
Twitter, DM, whatever. Let us know.
right. We got a lot more coming your way soon. So just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. So thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. See y'all next week.
Mm-hmm.